Alva Perry was a dignified and reserved woman in her early 40s. She was still handsome, although her cheeks were too thin. She had lived alone in this tenement since the death of her husband, yet somehow remained as industrious in her solitude as a woman who lives in the service of her family. John Drake, an equally reserved person, occupied the tenement above hers. Mr. Drake and Mrs. Perry had never exchanged more than the simplest greeting in all the years they had lived here.
Mrs. Perry?
Oh, good evening, Mr. Oh, mercy me.
Can I help you with that?
Oh, no, Mr. Drake. They are only potatoes. I'm going to bake them out in the backyard. Do you like plain, ordinary pleasures?
Well, I'm sure that depends what you mean by ordinary pleasures.
I mean simple, honest pleasures, like this potato bake.
Well, I do like plain, ordinary pleasures. I once had the choice of going to Florida to join forces on an alligator farm project. But a man needs a pretty good reason for moving around.
We each have only one single life.
Thank you for the potatoes, Mrs. Perry. In return, I'd like you to have supper with me at a restaurant.
You think I should do that?
Tomorrow at 7? Good evening.
I think they cheat you in restaurants.
Well, it's usually to be among the crowd that we pay more for small portions.
What time does the bus go by the door here?
Naturally, I'll take you home. In my truck.
No, I've got to get home so I can get up in the morning.
I'd like to spend a whole evening's entertainment with you. Or a whole week. If that was agreeable, we could go to the lake where the dance houses are. I know the proprietor of one.
I know the proprietors of all the dance houses. When my husband was with me, we even came here. I remember him. How are you after these many years?
What I mean is, I'll stay with you for as long as you like.
What are you bidding for anyway?
Nothing dishonorable. In fact, something extremely honorable. If you would accept.
I suppose you would like a lady to mash your potatoes for you 3 times a day. Well, I am not a mashed potato masher, and I never have been. I would prefer him to mash my potatoes for me.
My sister Dorothy raises the dickens at all the gallery fairs downtown. I warn her each time if she doesn't watch out, her life will be left aching and starving by the side of the road like an old dog.
Excuse me. But I think my lady friend...
Don't worry. Truth is, she's passed out in an empty bedroom. I used to, know her husband, you know?
Maybe these are hers. She forgot them.
You can't do nothing about her now.
Mercy me, it's raining.
Mrs. Perry awakened early next morning. She was not hysterical at finding herself in a strange bed, because although a tense and nervous woman, she possessed great depth of emotion, and only certain things concerned her personally. She thought of her uncle, who had passed out at a convention 15 years ago. He had walked around the town all morning without knowing where he was. She smiled.